Our guest this week might just be the most interesting man in music, and he's stepping out the booth and into the stew with Jamie Winehouse and Bruno Bars to tell us about something that's actually cooler than partying with models and doing drugs with celebrities. Reading his book. Fresh off the ones and twos like potty training, his journey has spanned from uptown rich kid to uptown funk, from Tommy and Sniffle Up a Bag to Emmys and Oscars, and now from the decks to the page to the pod, here to chat beefing with other DJs, getting drug dealers to dance, and the evolution in New York City's club culture. 7 or 8 or 9-time Grammy winner, and only 1-time Oscar winner, and author of the book Night People, which is on shelves now. Mark Ronson. Mark, how the hell are you?
Hey, good. That was an incredible introduction. That's the best one ever. Thank you.
Can you clarify the Grammy number? It's like confusing online. No one knows.
The Grammy number is 9.
Okay. Woo! Wikipedia, you're on fucking notice.
Yeah, I know. Like, actually, one of the funniest things that Lily Allen is a very, very funny, very smart person. And, you know, when we won the Grammy for Record of the Year, I think I disappeared for a second at the party we're having, like after I probably to go to the bathroom and take drugs. And somebody came over to the crew because I'd just been standing there. I was like, where's Mark? This is like Grammy night. We just went. She goes, probably went to update his Wikipedia page. And now whenever I see somebody like an award thing like on their phone, like Spike Lee, I'm like updating his Wikipedia page.
You don't have people to do that for you?
No, and I've
have you ever updated your Wikipedia page?
I am gonna say this for the first time right here. I updated it from 8 to 9 for the Grammys because it's just been a slow year for me. I've been a little bit out of the news, so nobody was really checking me. Like, he did win for that Sabrina Carpenter remix, so I went on, and it's actually kind of hard, like, to get into the coding of it to update your Wikipedia page. You have to like make sure you do the Anyway, thank you, Jimmy Wales.
Wow, you. All right,
breaking news.
Now we know.
Hey, Mark Ronson is a narcissist.
No. You know what? He does it all.
Yeah.
He DJs, he produces, he models, he writes, and he updates his own Wikipedia page. You got to be your own biggest supporter.
I could do anybody if you guys need help. Yeah.
We don't have a Wikipedia.
You don't? I could change that.
All right, we're gonna hold you to that. Mark, thank you for joining us. Real quick, the first thing you want to do is a little fit check. What did you wear today to podcast?
Today, I'm wearing a shirt. George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic.
Hell yeah.
Kind of old vintage shirt. I'm wearing some black jeans and a shirt from The Row.
Ooh, okay.
May I? May I touch?
Yeah, we want to get a little tactile.
Oh, it's actually, it's my wife's shirt. And I didn't realize this till I put on my wife's shirt for the first time that ladies' shirts button the other way.
Yes, they do.
And I've never felt so clumsy. Like, how the fuck do you like it? It's like to actually, after 45 years of doing buttons a certain way.
It's tough.
Yeah. Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
What are the jeans? You know the brand?
The jeans are just Row. Jeans are Row, and then these shoes
women's jeans?
No, they're the men's. I have a hard time fitting into my own jeans.
You and us both, brother.
Stars, they're just like us.
I bought these socks because I went to LA to work and I forgot to take underwear with me, so I went into Undefeated and bought some socks last week.
Okay.
Did you also buy underwear?
Yeah.
Or did you just free ball it for a week?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Rather not say. And then these are some shoes that I've done a lot of DJing work for Gucci over the years. So these shoes are Gucci Adidas collab.
The Gucci Gazelles. And then let's talk about that nice little AP on the wristicle. What is that right there?
Yes. This is, so I've been kind of lucky enough to be the ambassador for AP for like their music stuff and helped them for a good like 5 or 6 years. And actually I discovered AP once because like 20 years ago, I was in some cool hipster bar or some shit in Paris, and I saw the coolest looking French dude I've ever seen, and that says a lot because all French dudes are impossibly cool looking like Serge Gainsbourg standing by the bar, and I saw this watch, and I don't know a lot about watches like that, and it was an AP Royal Oak, and I went up and I was like, "What is that watch?" And he was like, "It's like kind of showed me the watch." And then I started wearing this vintage one about 12 years ago, and 5 or 6 years ago, Francois, the head of AP, said like, I want you to come and help us do some music projects, and it was super cool. So one of the really nice things is I get occasionally get a really special watch.
How does it work? Do they give you like a new one?
Is it a loaner or?
This was the Matthew Williams. Yeah.
This is the Aleeks.
This is the Aleeks, the Matthew Williams.
Banger.
I guess no numbers on
1017.
And Yeah, and
I forget the Helix name.
yeah, I don't know what
what the
time
rest of
it
the
is.
brand
No,
is.
that's not why I wear this.
There's no numbers on it except for it's always 10:17 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. It's 5:25. But I actually
Wait, your watch is wildly.
It's so wrong, dude.
It is 11:45 a.m. and your watch says it's 5:25
All
p.m.
form, no function for Mr. Ronson, for Ronsolino.
I don't wear them out much. these
Were you
watches.
recently traveling in a time zone that was 6 hours and 20 minutes ahead?
I think that I just probably put this on. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on throwing fits. I should make it look like I made an effort to get dressed today.
You look great.
Because
You look
usually
great,
I
Mark.
would just wear whatever the fuck. So, yes, this watch has not been set in a little while.
Whatever, you got a phone.
Oh, we gotta ask about the underwear. What panties did you actually wear? Hopefully you're wearing some, or maybe not. I guess it's up to you.
No, bro.
Always Calvin.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Calvin. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Just,
All right.
It's this point in my life.
Yeah.
Just habit.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the only podcast that matters. Mark, we're going to start with a softball question, puff piece shit. You started DJing as a teenager, desperately seeking attention and approval from strangers and from your parents. Did you ever find that external adulation that felt truly and fully validating, or are you still on the hunt? Again, softball.
Softball question. I don't think that hole in your soul ever gets fully filled, but I think as you get older, you do therapy or whatever, like, yes, of course, I don't search for every bit of adulation when going out and playing shows for people or putting out records and wanting people to love it or whatever it is. But of course, that thing is at the root of what drives a lot of us. So.
I mean, that's like the start of the book is how you got into it, and
Yeah.
and having control over a crowd and over a room,
Yes.
and having people like look at you and see you. Do you mainly get that through DJing? Did you get that through producing? Do you get that through this book?
I started off from DJing. So like I actually started off writing this book and I was actually talking to my therapist. It's sort of like hardcore, like boot camp type guy, like not the warm and fuzzy type. And he's like, what are you working on? I was like, well, I'm working on this book, it's a lot about DJing and stuff and like kind of like, connection. He's like, kind of raises an eyebrow, like, with you, connection? I was like, more like maybe compulsion.
Ooh.
And I was like, that was a strong take. It was like, of course, different people, everybody gets into DJing for different things. Some people just love music. You want to be the center of the party.
Pussy.
Yep. And so
Not your era, though.
excuse me. And I was like, I did love this feeling. I mean, once I got good enough at it to feel like I could like lift the crowd and like with each song adding this new peak that like, it wasn't me always connecting with the crowd. It was like this power, like, look what I can do to you. And then the more I would get them high, the more I would almost like a shooting up or something. I would go even more internally and get this kind of wild feeling of both power, and it was a high. And it was like, you'd finish these gigs and 4 a.m. and you just like have this crazy energy and you look around and then, wait, fuck, the room's empty. There were just 400 people. Where'd everybody go? And then you like need to go somewhere and you go to the after party, you go get fucked up, and you need to keep that sort of thing going. I mean, it's not like that for everybody, obviously. And there were nights, of course, I loved the crowd. I loved the people. You saw the same people every week. They became friends that you didn't even know their names. But a lot of it was it kind of was this feeling of power. And I had to be a little honest about that in this. A little honest about that in the book.
Did writing the book and dredging up these feelings at all, did it give you a little taste?
Yeah, I think, I don't think all of that ever, you asked, like, was it more from DJing, that feeling of adulation, or making records, or writing this book? I think a thread of it goes through everything. I think as you get older, hopefully you get a little bit more like comfortable with who you are. Maybe you don't chase those things as much.
Right.
But yes, I totally forgot the question.
It was some bullshit.
Okay.
But tell us about the book.
We got what we wanted,
okay.
Mark.
Tell us about the book, Night People.
Okay.
Why,
The
and
book, yes.
maybe like why did you decide to frame it in the 90s
Okay.
in a specific moment and place and time?
Very good question. Okay, so I was thinking about writing a book for a while. This amazing literary agent, David Kuhn, would always ask me. I was like, I feel definitely too young to write a memoir, and I don't really care enough about it. Like, I don't know. I don't have one idea that would galvanize me to write a book. And then a really good friend of mine, this DJ named Blue Gems, passed away. And he was this incredible DJ and was like play at Leban and all these things. And like, I was going to DJ with Eli Escobar, a party that would have celebrated his birthday, even though he had passed a few years before. And I started to think about all these memories in the 90s, people that passed or records that were important, that just a moment of nostalgia. And then all these fucking Gen Z people were coming up to me going like, you were in New York in the 90s? Like, what the fuck was that like? And we were just like, what in the 90s? We were just thought the Roxy in the 80s and Studio 54 in the 70s was cool. But I understand it was this time in New York where New York was arguably still the center of the musical universe. You had Wu-Tang, Biggie, Jay-Z, obviously Puff, you can't cut him out of it no matter how fucking awkward it is now. Little Kim. And then you had like Missy and Pharrell and Aaliyah all coming here to make their records, and they were all out in the clubs. And there was no VIP. Everybody was in the clubs fucking together. There was no bottle service. There was no camera phones. It was kind of special for those reasons. And then the main other reason that I wanted to write a book about not a superstar DJ, not a fucking Calvin Harris or Marshmello. Oh, I love Calvin. I didn't mean like
about
fucking Calvin, but I just wanted to write a book about a real gigging DJ, like 5 nights a week playing in fucking sports bars.
A gym rat.
Exactly. And I could only write about that before I was famous. Like and that was only the 90s when I knew what that was like. And I'm obsessed, of course, with Kitchen Confidential and Anthony Bourdain and the way that he wrote about New York and kitchens and nightlife with this visceral energy. I mean, he's the GOAT. He's one of the greatest authors ever. Not saying I'm anywhere near on that level, but I had something about New York and nighttime and the lunacy of being in a nighttime industry and loving what you do, but fucking getting beat the fuck up.
Dude, I was going to say, you got treated like shit.
Yeah.
You were...
No hierarchy in the club.
But it couldn't keep you down.
Yeah, and because when you love it, and you're just that young and you have the blinders on, that's it. So
it's called being naive.
Being naive, being naive and being fucking a glutton for punishment and all of it. And also like when you're that young, your cells regenerate at this clip. Like you can get fucked up. You can do all that shit to your body and take the beatings. So that is a very long-winded answer.
And haul your records
why
across
the 90s.
town.
Yeah.
Haul your records.
And up the fucking 5-flight walk up.
A lot of flights.
Flights of stairs. I mean, I would still have to go to the emergency chiropractor like maybe once a month. Like I would just wake up and then just like, I can't move my neck.
It's a business expense, dude. That's cool.
Yeah. What'd you say?
It's a business expense.
It's a business expense. Yeah.
You didn't have healthcare as a DJ?
I didn't have healthcare. It was not writing off. I think every DJ had a shoebox. Like nobody had a bank account. Yeah.
Back in the 90s, what was the hardest group to get going on the dance floor? Was it the skaters, the fashion girlies, the drug dealers, the American Psycho finance bros? Like,
it's actually funny. I mean, it was always like, I love the idea of walking into a room and like even playing some weird like buttoned up cocktail party for some like suits. By the end of the 90s, like that's how I was getting paid, playing parties for Martha Stewart or something.
Sick.
oh,
And a lot of my
Goat.
friends, the DJs who I was playing in the hip hop clubs with, would have turned their nose up and been like, "Oh, that's this fucking sellout commercial gig or whatever." But I love the idea of going to any room and being like, "What's going to be the record that cracks these people?"
It's like a puzzle.
People. Yeah. But it's funny that you said, was it the cool skater kids? Because it's true. Like I'd be playing. There was this great hip hop party on a Monday night called Cheetah. And at that time, that was where like Mike Tyson, Aaliyah, Missy, Mace, like it was one of the biggest parties downtown. And the Supreme kids would all go to those parties. And they were kind of like, you know, the fucking cool kids and the dirty hair and whatever it was. And they would never usually go on the dance floor till the hip hop started. Because the first 2 hours you play the old school funk and soul and some, you know, like R&B classics. And I would always be like, if I was having a good night, the Supreme kids would come onto the dance floor during like the disco shit.
Damn.
So impressing the world famous Supreme team, even to this day, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Was there like one record that at your prime in the 90s, without fail, would get the people moving, that you could always rely on, like no matter what the room or what maybe your go-to formula wasn't working?
Break in case of emergency.
Yeah, there was a really legendary DJ, rest in peace, named Kay Slay, who was the drama king, Hot 97.
Yeah, come on.
And we had to talk about it one time. He called it the save your ass crate, you know, like when all else fails.
He had a full crate full of
He
them.
had a full crate. And I would say like, so we talked about what those records were. And I mean, obviously by the mid 90s, it was the Benjamins and there were records from that time, but it was like
160 Swiftly.
Yes, the 900 number was a huge one. I don't know if you remember that. That's a
Oh, of course, yeah,
classic.
Yeah, Jackson 5, obviously. I Want You Back.
Come on.
Michael Jackson. Those were the ones. But then, you know, Busta, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See. You know, there were like so many in that era. Yeah.
Skinny Busta, not swole ass.
Yeah.
Not Ninja Turtle Busta.
that record was so crazy. I don't think that that was the same summer as Uptown Baby. And like, obviously I've done a lot of damage to my brain since the 90s. And
you don't say.
Luckily, having those records, I can hear Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands, and just hear. I mean, I can smell the inside of a club called Rebar on a Tuesday night. Like the way that records help me
Sense
remember
memory.
shit for this. Remember for
They're
this
time
book.
machines. They transport you back.
Yeah.
Was
That's good music,
there,
baby.
not to bring up bad memories, but was there an absolute brick of a night you remember from your early days?
Yeah, I mean, there were nights when it bricked or 16 people showed up to a party. But in the first year, yes, I kind of sucked. But what I had was like wild ambition. I would play anything, like no fee was too small, no room was too small. And like I remember playing at Club USA, this huge club in Midtown that was owned by Peter Gation, who was this like lord of clubs who owned the Tunnel and Limelight and Palladium and all these places. I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I had no right to I'd swindle my way into this gig somehow because he lived in my building. And, like just playing for all these drug ravaged lunatics.
This is
having no idea how
It's
to
like the
keep
party
energy.
people crowd.
Yeah.
Or party
Yeah,
monster
the
crowd.
party,
Club
the
kids.
Party.
Yeah.
Club kids, party monster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shout out Macaulay Culkin.
And Seth Green.
Yeah, true.
But the next day I went to Rock and Soul, the record store, and I was like, yo, I only played hip hop and these kids obviously just want some like insane techno. Give me the 5 biggest techno records. And then he did. And then the next week I was good. So I was like always willing to adapt, figure it out. But I think that, I loved it so much and I was so dedicated. Like I was overachieving probably at most levels.
You put in your 10,000 hours.
Without a
Yeah.
doubt, yeah.
That's kind of like the first or like middle act of the book, I feel like. It's just you doing whatever it took.
Yeah. And we talked about it. Weirdly, the mug, the nightclub at Vassar was...
The nightclub at Vassar was a fucking nightclub. It was a hole.
It's crazy to call it a nightclub.
Towny bar.
It's a black box in a basement, but it was so
Dude,
crazy.
the walls would be sweating at the end of the night. It was
There was
disgusting.
asbestos, like because
Yeah.
Kingsley, who was the manager when I went there, this Jamaican manager, like if you played any dance hall, Jamaicans show their enthusiasm for dance hall by
Yep.
sorry,
Nope. It's
bang,
cool.
like, bang on the wall like Sister Nancy, and asbestos would rain down from the
Bum,
fucking
bum.
ceiling.
Yeah,
And it was sort of crazy that like it was just allowed to happen. You told me it doesn't exist anymore.
I think my year, which was also your wife's year, was
Yeah.
one of the last,
Okay.
I think like the last of the Mohicans or whatever.
Last of a dying breed.
It was good. Like I just started to make my name in New York City, and I went to Vassar, and I think the ability to fall on my face but play nightclubs and campus parties and all that things for the year and a half I was there was like when I came back to the city, it was like the minor leagues. That was
The
like I
dojo,
needed it.
right? You're like in the
Yeah.
dojo getting fucking your reps in.
in the dojo.
What was harder, getting like Diddy and Jay-Z to fuck with you in the booth, or like college kids?
Frat boys.
College
Or no,
kids was
frat-
like
that's
No, no, frat boys.
yeah, like
Soft boys.
Yeah.
but I guess
Gay guys.
I guess
Yeah.
both. I was the youngest there, so of course kids were like, wanted to like sun me a little bit, but it was I don't know.
On the flip side of having an absolute L of a night, what about like, was there a night where it kind of clicked and you're like, oh shit, I kind of maybe know what I'm doing?
I've arrived.
There were definitely nights along the way, like when I got to this party on Tuesday night called Sweet Thing, which was at this place on Canal and West Broadway, which I think is currently the Palace, but it seems to close every year and become a new place.
Yeah.
That was the first party where like I felt like I'd arrived. I'd been opening up for Stretch Armstrong and Funk Master Flex and these other people, and then I started this small party that really blew up, and Biggie and Fat Joe and Big Pun and all these
Incredible.
heroes and luminaries were coming down. But the night really that set me apart, that really like carved me my own identity as a DJ was the night that I dropped AC/DC Back in Black at this club at the party Cheetah, which was the biggest hip hop party at the time. And I'd gone to this club a week before called Spy Bar. Spy Bar was like this legendary place on Green Street, one of the first like super VIP like lounges in Soho. Like they would turn away Trump and Mariah Carey at the door. Like it was like crazy. I'm sure they let them in sometimes.
Were Trump
too,
and
but I
Mariah
saw-
going together or?
No, I don't even know. And I would only
She was a
even
little
get
old.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would only even get in half of the time, like, because I was 21 years old and this guy King stood at the door and like a fucking Roman sentinel. and one night I got in and the DJs were not really great there. They were kind of like these messy, like rock and roll dudes, but they played incredible shit like the Ramones and the Dead Boys and shit you didn't hear out in New York. And one time he dropped Back in Black and I just saw it make all these fucking drunk white people like reenact the fall of Rome, like dancing on the couches. It was so crazy. And I started to think like, oh my God, I wonder if I could play this for like a hip hop crowd at Cheetah, like watching everyone go crazy and just how fucking incredible AC/DC Back in Black sound. So that week I worked on this routine and I was sure it could be like career suicide, but I was like, I'm going to play AC/DC at Cheetah, and even if it gets a bottle fucking thrown in my face at the booth. I found out, I played the Benjamins into this like kind of corny rock remix of the Benjamins at the time. But I was like, no one's gonna stop dancing with Biggie over these rap metal guitars.
Was it the Rob Zombie remix, the rock remix?
It might have been. It might have been the Fuzz Bubble one. Yeah, and it has like these really tinny guitars. But I'm like right on Biggie's verse, go into the rock version. No one's gonna stop dancing. And then right when Biggie goes, squeeze off to empty, all about the Benjis. Bam, sick. And there was like this split second when I did it that the whole room, or maybe it felt like the room just froze. But like because I dropped it on beat and no one could stop dancing, there was no time for judgment. And by the time it comes around to like the second fucking round, everyone just lose their mind. And it was like this thing like, holy shit, we've broken this rule of what a DJ should be playing here. And it was before the mashup era and
I was gonna say,
all this shit. And AM like did a similar thing on the West Coast, but it was really unusual for New York. And then I became that guy. Like in New York, I have my own sort of identity.
Do that thing with AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
and then
Mark Ronson was born in that moment. Like,
and some nights I would do that trick and like, you'd feel someone tap you on the shoulder and look around. There was just like this 7-foot drug dealer be like, yo, what the fuck are you playing, white boy? Like, and you'd have to realize it wasn't always.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
it's hard to be universally accepted.
But that was a thing. And from that point on, it's so crazy to think now that it was ever original to play I Love Rock and Roll in a club. But I remember dropping that the first time and seeing Little Kim and Method Man like dancing on a booth, like losing their minds. So.
You mentioned Stretch, and kind of before you created your own identity and aura, did Stretch Armstrong, I forget exactly what it's about, but did he ever confront you for ripping his shit?
I think like he just knew that I was a super fan, but at some point, like it's very annoying to have like a puppy like constantly like yapping at your fucking thing and just telling you like,
little bro,
I'm such a big fan, and then like going and stealing your mixes as well. Like I so hero worshipped him because like he was the best
other tall
radio
white DJ.
Yeah, best club DJ. Found out he went to my school.
representation.
Yep. And I just, but I thought that there was, I thought I would hear him do these amazing mixes and just bite them and think that was okay, which now I totally realize it wasn't. But
Did he ever?
Yeah.
I just found out back because I kind of got frozen out of the scene. I think partly because of that, because he was like the dude. I had a little run of one summer where I was like opening for him and other big DJs, and then I just kind of was like, my name was like a little became dirt, and I had to sort of like it took a couple years to like work my way back in.
You're Ronin.
Yeah.
You got banished.
Yeah,
No master.
Stretch was an
Alone.
OG, and here's this dude like just coming. Who does he think he is? Like biting and mixes. So I think even if
I'm taller
Stretch
than
didn't
him.
care, I'm the tall guy.
Walk us through the fits you were wearing when you're DJing in the 90s. Like what percentage of every fit was Echo Unlimited by Mark Echo?
There was a lot of Aniche.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Aniche. I worked I had a really short time of working at this hip hop clothing company on the Upper West Side that my friend started, which obviously like in the land of like Zabar's and Harry Florsheim shoes, there was not a big need for 555 Soul and
Right.
and Echo. But my friend Gideon started this store. He wanted to have the uptown version of Union,
Right.
And it was cool. Honestly, we just turned the place into a delinquent clubhouse. But I was very into it because hip hop and streetwear was so interlinked at that time. You had Headhunters and, like I said, 555 and these brands. So I was kind of wearing all that shit. My idea of dressing up like on a big night was like a cool new T-shirt from Supreme, like just some 10 deep, or it was even before.
It could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Before 10 deep even. And then Hilfiger. I became their kind of like DJ, and
gonna say.
there's a lot of Hilfiger at the time.
Was that your first time like touring when you went on the Tommy Hilfiger mall tour?
Yes, yeah. The bus
Was that
tour.
sick? Like,
It was incredible. I mean, it seems as well like another thing that there's no way it could happen today. Like a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds going on a tour bus around America to like DJ in malls, and it was like Kate Hudson,
yeah, Aaliyah.
Aaliyah, right? Yeah.
basically unchaperoned children. It was also super fun.
How much did you get paid to model for Tommy Hilfiger in the 90s? Or was meeting Aaliyah just enough to make it worth it?
I bet you it wasn't a lot of money. I think it felt like it.
If you can't remember, it wasn't a lot. Yeah, honestly.
I think it was like $2,700, but like that was rent for 2 months.
Did Middle America, like, was it receptive to what you guys were doing with like the Tommy tour?
I mean, it was so crazy. Now it's
Play more AC/DC.
Yeah. No, we would just go into these malls, and obviously if Aaliyah showed up and it was like a mall in Atlanta, people were fucking psyched. But I do remember we were at a mall in somewhere in Texas, and all these people had lined up, and I remember thinking like, because this is like before Kardashian era and all this stuff, thinking like, it's so weird that people care to meet us, because it was mostly kids of famous people, right? It was like Steven Seagal's son and
The Nepo tour.
It was just a full-on Nepo, predating Nepo.
What was Steven Seagal's son doing? Like judo? Like
He was like
Karate demonstration?
he definitely like a black belt. He was like, his name was Kentaro. He was lovely. He just kind of like sat like, silent, always had this like Zen wisdom about him, and like he was one of the Nepo crew. And I remember like all these people line up in Texas at this thing to like get these autographs, and I can't remember who it was. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but like somebody was like a little bit in a bad mood that day, and like was like a little snippy to somebody waiting online. And this one lady just looked at us and goes, "You know what? Y'all should have brought your parents." And I was like, I totally empathized with it, but it was so much fun. Listen, like if there was anywhere that I could go DJ and play music loud to people, I was down.
what was like the grimiest, dirtiest gig you ever took where even eager beaver Mark was like, "Ooh, this is what am I doing here?" Yeah.
I think there were a lot. I wish I could remember a specific one, but I really was like, I was all right to be playing anywhere. Like if they liked the music that I liked. I mean, let me think.
You're just happy to be there, right?
I was just happy to be there. I'm sure there's something like, I remember playing like a really weird like cop wedding in a banquet hall in Chinatown.
Okay.
And like, I didn't realize like nobody had told me that I was going to have to play like the song right when they were like, "You're married," like the next song,
right?
Like
the first dance,
and I quickly looked through all my things, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like Black Moon, like whatever the fuck, I can't play any of these things. And the only thing I had was, for some reason, I had an Eagles greatest hits with me, because this was back when you had the records. You could only play what you fucking had with you.
No,
and I played The Long Run, and I don't know if you know that song, but it's like, "We can make it together in the long run." It's the most unromantic, like it's such like, and I think they were just looking at each other, and like there were just all these cops looking at me like, "Where the fuck
you
did
get
they
what you paid
find
for,
you?"
dude.
Yeah.
Arrest this fool.
Who did you trust to DJ your own wedding?
I actually forgot to get a DJ.
What?
For my first wedding?
You had one job, Mark.
Yeah, exactly. I think DJs are either like you get like the dream fucking lineup, or you just totally forget because your whole life has been DJing wedding. I remember the band performed, and then there was just like dead silence in between the bands, and I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot!" Like, luckily there were 80,000. Well, no, there were 80 DJs there. Like,
Right.
But
Stretch, get up there.
Yeah. My second wedding was really, really small, and it was beautiful, but I didn't.
Was there a first song?
I'm such a bad dancer. I became
Really?
a DJ so I wouldn't ever have to
great
dance,
call.
You don't have
kind of.
rhythm?
Rhythm.
I have rhythm with the hands, but not the legs,
No rhythm in the hips.
No rhythm in the hips.
You're a jazz hands guy.
Jazz hands I can oh yeah, no.
You mean on the ones and twos. Okay, got it.
I mean the ones and twos, but that would be amazing though, just to like, I only dance with my hands.
Yeah.
When you see footage of yourself in the booth, like emoting or whatever, like, is it cringe inducing, or are you
a
like
little bit? I looked at some footage from a gig I did last night, and I think it was like, it wasn't the livest gig, so I have a tendency to like if the crowd's not going for it, I kind of looking down at the turntables and I make more shit to do with my hands. So I don't.
That's
have
like
to,
the equivalent of us
engage.
looking at the weather app when instead of talking to girls. Yeah.
Totally.
Just got to stay busy. Got to look busy.
So I saw myself and I was like, oh man, I could be doing a better job at like, because you do get caught on Instagram most of the time these days. That's where you basically end up. So you're just like looking like this, like hunched over, like just like old Jew at the turntables, like
Playing with yourself.
yeah,
Looking for your Eagles record.
yeah. It's nicer to see like a guy is just like, even if they're fake.
Do you think, like, if you had been a DJ in the modern era, when it is so intertwined with social media and clout and followers,
Celebrity.
do you think you would have been good at building a social media following and clout chasing and like ironically mixing in TikTok sounds into sick drops, which you kind of maybe pioneered with that AC/DC shit, to be honest?
Yeah, I think that I would have been way better at it than I am now. Like I try my best, but like I definitely admire like the hustle of like
John Summit.
James Hype, Zach Bia, like people that are just really, really good DJs and really good at that shit because you really have to be.
It's a whole new skill set, right? That like is for the times.
Yeah, I DJ with this kid the other night, this amazing hip hop DJ from, I think he's from Switzerland, called Cruz. And I just went on his Instagram before I did the gig to just say, I wonder what this kid's about. And like every picture is like Sandra Pay, Drake's in the booth, like and Travis Scott. And you're like, yeah,
That's
I don't
tight.
know if that's every night of his life or that's like a greatest hits, but this dude's living the life and you need to be presenting that, you know?
Instagram is an accurate reflection of reality.
Totally.
It is. It's
one
real
for
life.
one, usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of modern DJ culture where it is kind of like a super glitzy? I mean, everyone's trying to be Diplo.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to be like in Ibiza.
I think that I don't get into it too much in the book because I really wanted to keep the book really diaristic about the 90s,
Right.
even to the point where like
Thank you,
like,
by the way, for that.
I was like, I didn't want to be like, years later I would go on to play the Coachella stage or something. Like, so, but in the epilogue, I did, without being like the grumpy old guy, I did want to address, because the epilogue is like, and it's a real day in the life of me and my little daughter strapped to me and the baby Bjorn walking around downtown, seeing all where the clubs used to be. And I do get into a little bit of, I still DJ out. I still love DJing most of the time. Now I'm playing vinyl again because the book has made me like put me on this path where it's fun. But I've been playing Serato the last 20 years and it is such a different type of DJing, and it's for better or for worse where shit is going. But again,
is
I forgot the
vinyl back
question.
in demand?
You know what? When I have like some DJs from that era who were just the best at fucking cutting and scratching. Like, man, you can keep that vinyl shit. You can fucking, I don't want to be putting my back out again at the, whatever, 45. But there is something I notice when I play, and look, I'm not A-track. I'm not AM, do crazy skills and routines, but just even the like throwing records on and off and speed mixing. I see kids like in the 22-year-old like watching me like I'm fucking, it's mind bending.
David Blaine shit.
Yeah, and
Magician
like,
in the booth.
this kid came out to me the other day and was like, yo, I can't believe the vinyl set, because usually when I think of vinyl set, I'm thinking like, oh, this is going to be boring or low energy, which is not true, but this was his take on it. And you were playing hits. Like somebody's like, whoa, you can get Kia, My Neck, My Back on vinyl. I was like, yeah, how the fuck do you think we were all spinning this in 1997? Like,
How old does he think you are, dude?
And so I've been playing these all vinyl sets, which is sort of fun. And then it's, you're at a handicap because you're not going to be playing Sexy Red, but it's fun to occasionally play like, I think my most recent record is probably like Soulja Boy, like, and then like Justice Dance. So like occasionally you drop a record like that new, and then people like lose their minds. They're like, oh my God, it's something that I remember. But I'm really loving, I've been playing a lot of vinyl lately, and it's fun as shit. My back is fucked up again. My ears
you
are
can't
fucked.
get a fucking someone to carry the shit around for you?
Yeah, dude, come on now.
I just feel like it's
Wikipedia
just,
crates.
I know.
Get a team.
I used to like I feel corny like going to the club, like walking behind people that are carrying my records. It's like
Okay,
I
yeah, that's fair.
Like a procession.
Yeah,
Versus showing up with like 3 milk crates.
yeah. I just, because I came from that, before I was ever whatever you want to say famous or known as a producer. Like, so to suddenly make other people, if I made people carry my records from the beginning, and I was that dude like Kid Capri walking the club, and like he had like 8 dudes carrying all these
sick,
crates. But no, because of how I started, I'm like, I just can't be like a different dude in the city that I came up in.
You never forgot where you came from. And that's beautiful, Mark.
You do tell a story in the book about how Diddy kicked Kid Capri off the ones and twos and put you back on at one of his parties. What was the thought process of leaving in that tidbit about you DJing a Diddy party?
Getting the cosign.
There was a lot of Diddy.
Was there editor pushing for that? Or right.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been writing the book for 3 years, and when all this stuff came out about Diddy, it was suddenly like, oh fuck, like all these stories that might have been amusing anecdotes, like just because I like ate a weed cookie at the white party and like went into a stupor, and my friends had to hold me up Weekend at Bernie style while I finished DJing. I was like, this story hits a little different in the now knowing what we know, because obviously like I never saw any crazy freak offs, and in my entire time DJing for Puffy I probably spoke 5 sentences to him, but
you can't DJ, you can't scratch covered in oil, covered in baby oil.
But to ignore him and cut him out fully from a story of New York in the 90s would be so disingenuous, and to cut him out of my rise when he really did have playing all his parties was a big part of it. So I just cut out a lot of the stories, but the one or two of the ones that were important, like playing his 29th birthday or these other things, I was like, I'm just going to leave this in. But it is actually the only time that I came out of the diaristic, like I said, style of it, to be like, yo, 20 years from now, we would all find out some very different things. But
And Night People has now been entered into evidence. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Can you point to a single party as the most fun party you've ever been to?
The GOAT party.
That I've ever been to, I've ever DJ'd.
Let's do both.
Okay. I mean, there was this club called Life that lasted about 2 years. It's like where Le Poisson Rouge is now. Every time I tell these stories, I always think of that old like thing from the Tumblr era called Now It's a Fucking Froyo. Do you remember that? It's like all these legendary dates in New York.
Starbucks.
It's Froyo.
And that's kind of how your epilogue ends, right? You're like you said, you're with your daughter. You're like, that used to be where Daddy, where Daddy met Diddy.
But that was incredible. That was this really Euro cheesy club that like played this like kind of corny like lounge music, and they had house in the main room. And one night, actually, Dave Chappelle. So we hung out with a lot of like comedians that era. You had Dave Attell, Chappelle. Everybody was at the Cellar.
Ooh, Insomniac.
I was such a huge Attell fan, such a comedy fucking nerd. I would go to the Cellar before my gigs, and Chappelle would come to Rebar and stuff. And one night Chappelle came out of the Cellar and was like, I'm going to this new club, Life. Who's coming with me? And I knew him barely enough to like tag along into the entourage, and got in this club and went up to the owner. Was like, you should let me play here. There's nobody dancing. This is a fucking cheesy. This is a lounge and whatever. And he was just like, yeah. But I also noticed that the regular DJ had a slight baby bump. So I was like, well, if I keep asking for 6 months, so 6 months went by.
The vision.
I did get the call. I was like, yo, Cleo, I think her name was, her water broke. You want to play the Life VIP tonight? So I knew like it was one of those nights, like if I got to ever tear it down, this is the night, and turn this like what was a chill out lounge where they played like kind of like lounge exotica music into like full on hip hop parties. So once word got around that the hippest club in New York was also playing hip hop, it was like Mariah Carey, Chris Rock, Rick Rubin, Jay-Z, Puff Damon, everybody every Friday night. And that was really like this for a year and a half that party was on. It was just the craziest. And it was the beginning of Richie Akiva and Jusky and like everybody throwing these parties, and this kind of like downtown models, graffiti, skateboard, all this scene coming together. So there was some pretty legendary nights in there. The best party I've ever been to, fuck. I mean, there's been so many. My brain is such mush at this point.
Really, the best one, I would think you wouldn't even remember it, right?
Yeah.
That's how you know it's good, presumably.
I
really bad.
Come back to me on that one.
All right.
Well, real quick, what's the connection between comedians and DJs in your mind? Like, what are because if you connect with them so much, I'm curious.
I started to think about it a lot when I was writing the book, because I was like, it was such a signature thing in the 90s as well, like the Cellar before roast culture took on, and like there's a line around the block now every night at the Cellar. And I was thinking, like, we're all so similar. We're all completely obsessed with the craft, very insular. Of course, there's the trope of like comedians being all miserable people inside. We know that's not the case, but like all my DJ friends were also kind of like, we're a little hardened, and like only wanted to hang out with other DJs because only they understood the fucking weird ass nighttime
The grind,
lifestyle and the grind.
It's all about timing.
Yeah, comics call it timing. DJs have rhythm. We play clubs. We say killing it. You know, the difference between like a fucking split second of getting it wrong with the punchline or dropping a mix is the difference between like a roar and like crickets.
Yeah.
And then I also noticed, like, you know, we play to these kind of small rooms, and you know, no matter how good the night is, you just go home and you're haunted by the face of that one dude with his arms crossed, like, motherfucker, you're not impressing me.
The one hater.
That one supreme skater.
Yeah.
Fuck
And
you,
then-
Jason.
Skater haters.
And there was this comedian who was on at the Cell all the time, who's now not a stand-up but a writer, named Jordan Rubin. He was my good friend who brought me into the scene, and we just hung out all the time. All these comedians like Attell, Jeff Ross, Chappelle. Like it was all like you just see everybody at each other's parties.
Sick.
So kind of like comrades in misery.
Yeah.
You're in the trenches, the
Yeah.
emotional trenches,
Yeah.
on the physical
Your
ones.
foxhole brothers.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, you know, the comedian, we all got off work at like late hours with like $120 in cash, wherever the fuck, and usually looking to do something bad with it. So
Hell yeah.
we hang out a lot.
Throw gang. You already know this is a pro Skims podcast. We're not just the only podcast that matters. We're the only podcast where every single member of the show is skimmed up from the dick up at any given time.
That's right, Lawrence. As you know, I've been doing a lot of competitive sports gambling, and I need to keep my shit high and tight when I'm screaming at the television because Lamar Jackson is shitting the bed once again. Derrick Henry. I'm feeling like Stavi out here, but mainly because I'm losing money, not because I'm a fan of the Ravens.
But even though you're losing money in your skim. So that's like a little silver lining.
Exactly. It's performance-based draws for amateur gambling.
Yeah. Even right now, as I record this incredible ad read for our good friends at Skim, I'm in my Stretch 5-inch boxer briefs. I love these. They're forgiving, but they keep me high and tight in all the right places. Guys, you can shop Skims men's right now at skims.com and let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Throw gang, let's be real. Most skincare products just aren't made for men. And when they are, they're usually not great. They're overly complicated, packed with questionable ingredients, or just don't deliver results. And that is where Caldera Lab comes in. They've redefined men's skincare by combining advanced science with high quality, non-toxic ingredients to create a simple, effective routine that, actually works.
That's right, Lawrence. I was up all night looking at our Times Square billboard because that shit pops even harder in the night sky. But you wouldn't tell. You can't tell because I've been using the eye serum, which is designed to help reduce the appearance of tired eyes, including dark circles and puffiness. 75% of users report diminished darkness under their eyes.
That's funny you mentioned the billboard because I happened to be on said billboard as well. And before we got our photos taken to be on the Summer Jam screen, before it was hard to be humble stunting on the Jumbotron, I had to hit my face with that good serum, which is an award-winning serum made with botanicals and antioxidants to help skin appear smoother and more hydrated. It's a first-of-its-kind antioxidant, and it was shown to generate almost 3.4 million antioxidant units per drop, helping to protect skin from environmental stressors. That's right, guys. Whether you're starting fresh or upgrading your routine, Caldera Lab makes skincare simple and effective. Do not settle for drugstore junk or steal your partner's products. Elevate your own skincare routine that's made for you. Head to calderalab.com/throwingfits and use Throwing Fits at checkout for 20% off, your first order.
I mean, yeah, it was not
podcasting.
It was not at least the frame of the book Night People. It is not a glamorous era. Right. But it's super exciting, but this is pre glitz and glamour. Do you regret really building up your DJ career before the era of DJs actually getting pussy?
I didn't really care. Somebody read this book and you're like, oh, there's not really a lot of romantic shit in there. And I was like, I always just had, like steady girlfriends, and that was the thing. Like I was just so, we went out to strip clubs and shit. A lot of DJs, like there was New York Dolls. There was like all this, there was a big link between the stripper and the DJ community as well as the comedian community.
Love that. The triumvirate right there.
Yeah.
The three best kind of people.
Axis of
The
evil.
5 pillars of hip hop.
Strippers are one of them, honestly.
But No, I don't know. I think it was an amazing era. You know, I don't want to over romanticize it, but you know, it was glitzy by the end.
Yeah.
And some people thought that was
the shiny suit
the
era.
end of it. Yeah, exactly. But it was
one moment in the book that really stood out to me, because you're kind of reading the book and you're like, you don't realize this, how democratic everything was until somebody, I think did they bring it over from Japan, like bottle service?
Yeah.
And then a VIP, like the VIP section did not exist for a long time.
No.
And then that is what kind of turned the club into like a real estate hierarchy.
It was. And it became very much less about like the music and the dance floor. And they, you know, the club owners realized they could make so much money selling these fucking quintuply overpriced bottles of fucking vodka that like they just started to put more tables in the club, and the dance floor got smaller and smaller until you could only tell people were dancing if they were standing on the tables.
Right.
So it was very much about this status and hierarchy. And, you know, I wrote about a lot of these things like Giuliani closing down a lot of the big clubs and bottle service, like casually. But then I had this really great editor who came on and helped me at the end of the book, and she's a features editor at the New Yorker, and she made me put it much more through the lens of like, don't just say Giuliani closed his club, like say how Giuliani's policies and his war on clubland really changed the landscape of New York at that time, and tell me about what, don't just say, and then bottle service happened, tell me about the origins of bottle service. So it was cool. She made me dig deeper, but it makes it a little bit more of like it's not the fucking Bowery Boys, but it's like, it definitely makes it a little bit more of a New York story.
Nice.
It's a full on like scene report, vibe report for sure.
I've never heard that expression, but I love learning what the young
a true
people
vibe
say.
check, man.
Do you think New York City now has lost its club culture?
I mean, I definitely, if I'm playing out now, most likely it's in Brooklyn, and then like obviously going out to Knockdown Center. And I mean, I know that there's Kai McGuard's and like what Harrison the Dare was doing, like Dime saying. There's definitely clubs here. I'm just fucking old, so I don't know what it is. But New York is always just gonna have this energy. It's just, even though like everything went to the West Coast for a while as far as DJs and, you know, like producers, and New York was kind of left for dead. It's like New York is always just gonna be one of the most inspiring places to fucking come and make art and do it. It just got too
goddamn
expensive.
right.
New York or nothing.
Yeah.
Or nowhere.
Like that brand.
Or fucking nowhere.
Yeah, whatever that fucking brand is. What do you think? What city do you think has like the crown currently of best clubs in the world?
I don't know, because I'm probably not
Ibiza.
out enough. Yeah, I guess Ibiza per capita.
They got the final boss, man.
But I mean, New York still has incredible clubs for sure. Like I said, like Gabby's in Brooklyn and Public and all those places. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah, the wrong guy to ask.
I'm a little bit out of
He's
it.
retired.
Solomon is like 60.
Oh, really?
Going like doing like 14-hour sets.
Yeah.
Well, you're still active though. You're still DJing, but it's typically more in like the paid gig.
Getting a bag, right?
Yeah, I was when I finished this book, and then a friend of mine read it, and he's like always got like a hot take for me when I've like finished a record or something, and he said, the book is great. It just sounds like you really miss DJing with vinyl again. I think you should only play vinyl to the end of the year. So I was like, that is such a stupid thing to say, but he's probably right. So I had to like find all the old records, replace shit, get the crates back together. And I've just been playing vinyl, and it's just rejuvenated. It's been a great hard reset for my love for DJing, because I did become a fucking parody of myself, going to every fashion party or like paid gig and opening with like Barbie into Uptown Funk, like so people can take videos, and like that's not real DJing. Like real DJing is like being able to play fucking music and move a crowd without relying on your own.
Back to the source, dude. That's beautiful. And I can't believe you didn't make that connection yourself. Someone had to do it for you.
It's stupid. And now I have the worst tinnitus in my life, and my back is killing me. But thank you for that.
Have you ever dropped Shallow in the club?
Yeah, we got to know.
There was like a kind of cool like Mr. Collar Park remix, like an Atlanta trappy mix that came out around the time I did. And yes, if at the right party, I will take the acapella and like throw a breakbeat under Bradley Cooper and
tell him it's something, boy.
I mean, that shit fucking slaps, dude. Let's be
I watched
real.
it last night in preparation for this.
It's
so good, dude.
It's a really
classic
good
movie.
God, that's that song. If it's in the right place, or you can tell that people are ready to sing. It's kind of fun to play that.
Goes off at karaoke.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, it is a karaoke.
It starts slow, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It builds.
Quick crescendo.
It's a builder.
Yeah.
Are you the only DJ with an Oscar straight up?
Oh, I guess who's the DJ from 3 6 Mafia?
Oh my
that's
God.
right.
Juicy J and
Juicy
DJ.
J, yeah.
Well, Juicy J and DJ Paul is a dog.
So they must have
That's
an
right.
Oscar,
They do.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Great call.
So that would be one, and then
3-6 Mafia Academy Award winners.
yeah. Remember after, I don't know if you remember the Oscars that year, but Jon Stewart came back after the break and was like, 3 6 Mafia 1, Martin Scorsese 0.
It's so true. Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
With the bars.
What do you think of celebrities who become DJs? Maybe they win an Oscar first and then like
Yeah.
actually.
I mean, there's so now I see it, and it's like, of course, because the technology and the automatic beat matching and stuff.
Mhm.
If you have taste in music, and maybe actually even if you don't, like everybody's DJ, I see these things like, I'm losing gigs to Real Housewives left and right.
Paris Hilton.
Dude,
Lindsay Lohan.
Meredith Marks has Bushwick going nuts right now.
Yeah. But I see videos and they're in their hands. They're like, it's totally fine. I mean, it is at this point now where like there's no point in griping about it. It's like
DJ James Kennedy.
Yeah.
who's
The white Kanye.
Vanderpump
Okay.
Rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a reality TV guy?
Some of it.
What do you watch?
I don't know. Well, my wife does love Housewives, so
Okay.
I watch that.
Salt Lake City on the way back.
Yeah.
And Meredith Marks,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City housewife, has been like legit shutting it down in Bushwick.
Yeah. Oh, you weren't joking.
I'm
In
not
Bushwick,
joking.
Is she
That's
playing
real,
that
Mark.
rooftop club?
I think she was at Knockdown Center.
How old is she?
Older than you.
Older than me?
age is
Probably.
mental.
And like really killing it, huh?
I mean,
What did
she's
you
like,
define really?
I think she's ironically mother.
Okay,
you know,
okay, yeah. I saw like that first wave of celebrity DJs, but it was still people like Perry Farrell, obviously like in a little trouble now,
musician.
but it was so crazy. And I remember going, but he was opening up for him at this gig, and I loved Jane's Addiction as a kid, and I remember him panicking because he couldn't get the record to play. It's like, I've got it, like the headphones and the record's on, and I was like, you just have to lower the tone arm. Like the tone arm was like floating over the record. But
That's
I
how
remember
it works.
this first era of like, when Paris Hilton started DJing and stuff, and it felt like it felt so wild, and now it is the most commonplace.
was there ever a celeb that actually kind of surprised you? Like,
Yeah.
fucking Paris has got it like that. Maybe not her.
Yeah. Someone that pleasantly surprised Mr.
Fuck,
Ronson.
I don't know, because now it's like, who did I see shut it down?
Lindsay Lohan.
Does Lindsay DJ?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
bro, she's got
Mykonos.
a fucking club in Mykonos.
She got a
Yeah,
club
she's an
in- is
owner
that
and
club-
operator.
Is that club still open?
I
Okay,
don't know.
But
We'll text her and find out.
fuck, I don't know. Who have I probably had to like hit play for a couple people in my time. But I don't remember.
You went back to back with someone.
Yeah.
How do you, Mark Ronson, discover new music in 2025?
I wait till I have a gig, and 2 hours before frantically text and email every DJ I know who's in the clubs like, yo, I got this gig. Like, what's going off in the club?
You
Whether it's
outsource
like,
the playlist?
well, and then I listen to it and I'm like, man, I can't play this shit. play the old shit. But
I'm playing DMX tonight.
I like to go out and still watch other DJs play. I like to, obviously just like fucking social media. You get fed so much shit these days.
I was
But
gonna say,
yeah.
do you hit TikTok and just
Yeah.
like see what's going viral?
What's
6,
the
7?
sounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is big right now this week? Like what's the
Well, the last song that I Shazammed off of TikTok was the Indonesian ore farming kid.
Oh, yeah.
I'm young, black, and rich.
That's
I
sick.
think his name's like Melly Mike. And then he went to
Okay.
Indonesia and like performed there, and
That's a
everyone's
banger.
going crazy.
oh my God, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, see, I'm behind.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like I'd go and see all these young kids play, and I'm like, and I ask like, and they're like, dude, the biggest shit just play. Everyone's still playing like your set from the 2000s. It's like
Whoa.
Candy Shop, and it's
Ooh.
like so it's like I guess there's this real nostalgia, and that shit's back. It's weird to call it nostalgia because half of these people weren't alive when those songs were out, but that sound. It just seems to
It's
be
retro.
Like, yeah, the way I played Michael Jackson when I
Yeah.
was coming
Golden
up.
oldies for a new generation.
You were
Yeah.
playing disco, right?
Yeah.
Which was like not necessarily your maybe.
No,
oh,
definitely
I'm gonna
not.
hold
No,
it.
Yeah.
no, and like Crooked's another great DJ. I don't know if you know Crooked. Like he's like a New York Vegas dude, and he's like
Not
tells
cool,
me
guys.
like, "Yo, I'm still standing" by Elton John. I'm like, what? Like that's an old record that like
standing.
every generation has their own throwbacks and golden oldies. So it's like the Ramones, Blitz Creek Pop. That wasn't a record we played when I was coming up, and now that shit goes off. So
Easy to dance to. Just
Yeah.
pogo.
yeah.
Is it corny? You mentioned dropping Shallow, which is very hard in the club. But is it corny to play songs that you produced or wrote when you're DJing?
Ooh.
Or is it like you kind of have to?
I think that there's like a certain amount, and I talk about at the end of the book, like, of course, if it's a certain kind of crowd and they're coming out, like, I'm going to play Uptown Funk and Valerie and records because that's what people are coming to hear. But, you know, it's funny, like when I was coming up as a DJ, I would go see some of the older guys play who I thought were like, you know, would play a record that was like 8 months old, and I kind of think to myself, well, they're kind of a little out of the loop. And then I'm getting up on stage and playing my own 15-year-old hits or whatever. Like in my head, I always feel a little bit like, oh, should I be doing this? But I think like every year I like remix or re-edit or do the song to keep it fresh to me. But yeah, I do think about that a lot.
Now that you have the luxury really of kind of, you know, spanning multiple eras of club culture and music writ large, what's a tougher crowd? Is it the 90s cool kids and the 90s drug dealers and models, or is it the 2025 selfie taking influencers at the corporate brand activation?
They terrify me way more because back then when I was
guns back then, but now it's snark.
Yeah.
Now it's a look.
And I was like gigging 5 nights a week. Like that's why I wanted to write about the 90s, because I was probably, honestly, and you know, it might lose me gigs, I was never a better DJ than I was back then, because when you're playing 5 nights a week and you're just so in it, and I knew every record. If a record came out Monday, I had a bootleg of it by Tuesday or Wednesday, and I could go into any room like the fucking Terminator and like just scan it and be like, I know how to kill this room. Now I have fucking no idea. I go into these things like, listen, when I'm playing like a club like Gabby's in Brooklyn, of course, like people have taste. I know what I'm doing there. But like the influencer shit and the people that want to hear like, it doesn't matter whether it's Sexy Red or Kind Music or whatever. I'm just like, I don't fucking know, you know? And I'm like, I can like just hold them to this point where I'm like, well,
they're getting paid to be there too, so don't even trip.
Do you ever try to maybe nudge them with like something a little out there, experimental that maybe you know might miss with that crowd?
Yes, because you have to, or you could just be anybody. If you're not taking chances, they could have heard anybody. They could have heard a playlist to fucking auto mix that night. So,
is there a chance recently that paid off? A chance that you took?
Yeah, like I think going to these places, I feel like of course people want to hear songs they know, and at some point, for like the Instagram crowd, they're just there to be seen. It's going to be hard to get them moving. You're going to have to play Sexy Red and whatever the fuck it is. But I think the crowd can really tell when you're playing the shit that you really love. And if you're doing that really well and you just like going, you just throw in like Stardust music sounds better with you, or just something that's just like a curveball and you get them, then that's kind of the best feeling.
So, and you still get that high when you unlock that puzzle.
I still get that. I wouldn't be doing this shit so at this point for like no money and fucking beating up, battering my ears and all this stuff. Like I still love the high from that thing at the end of the night when you're like wrestled with this crowd that don't want to dance and everything. And by the end of it, everybody's fucking sweaty. I still live for it.
Good thing books make so much money.
Yeah,
you're set. Dude. You're set. Do you think that there's a reader that's going to be disappointed because they want to hear about like working with Amy Winehouse and that?
I think like definitely I address it early on in the book because I'm like, because I know there'll be people picking up the book like, wait, no Bruno, no Amy, but I, you know, this was this era that was really important to me, and in turn defined everything I did after. And weirdly, DJing was never something that I wanted to do. You know, I played in bands. I wanted to be a guitar player. I wanted to be Slash, and I failed. Like I failed at that. And everybody who played music around me was so much better than me that I accidentally ended up in this DJing thing that somehow miraculously brought me back to making music. But I did, I you know, maybe there'll be another book for that era. But
I was saying, it's a whole nother fucking chapter that's legendary.
Right.
Like you won an Oscar, dog. Like,
right. Yeah. Like it would be cool. Listen, this book took me so fucking long, and like I don't know if I'd write another book in a hurry, but maybe 10, 15 years from now to write about that.
Book it.
When you got to put your kids in college.
Write the book that people are actually going to buy. Then it might be.
But you talk about, I mean, there's like a little kind of like a prelude or whatever to your work in making music where you're like, I was dog shit in production. Like my shit sucked.
Yeah.
You were very bad at making music at one point.
Yeah, I was. And you know, you're out 5 nights a week playing the music of Timbaland and the Neptunes. Like, it's hard. You're not gonna be able to find your voice. You're like going back to the studio, turning on the MPC and making it. like a Neptune's beat.
These drums aren't hitting. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm white. That's right.
Yeah. and then I just it took me a while, and then I found it. I got hooked up with this incredible singer Nika Costa, and that was like the first thing I made that put me on the map as a producer.
But as a hip hop producer, you sucked.
I sucked. Yeah. I was trying to copy my fucking heroes like verbatim, and it was just like a bad carbon copy.
Yeah,
you know?
kill your idols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you listen to in the shower, Mark Ronson?
Does anyone really listen to music in the
I don't
shower?
personally.
I do.
Oh, really?
I do. Like, so what is it playing on like on a JBL like Bluetooth?
Yeah, a little
speaker?
waterproof speaker that I
Oh,
turn on
you
before.
actually have the speaker
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
shower.
straight
It's not
from
just
Sharper
playing really
Image.
loud from there.
No, I have a little, I have a little,
Sharper
I have a little,
image.
I have a little shower speaker.
Shout out to
I don't listen to a lot of music.
When
Like-
do you listen to music?
Actually, you know,
Whip.
weirdly, like lockdown was the first time I really, for someone whose whole music like career has been like thanks to records and vinyl and all that shit. Like I never really listened to music at home other than to like look for samples and beats until COVID, when a lot of us found ourselves spending a lot of time at home and cooking and doing shit and putting records on. And now that I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, like she's the one who really controls the music in the house. Like, so we listen to music actually probably more than I ever have, but it's like, it could be like,
Baby Shark.
there's a little bit of Baby Shark, and then there's like Chapel Roan, and then there's like Joni Mitchell, and she's obsessed with like Scenario and like Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do for Love. So it's kind of wild. Like I'm
Great
lucky
song.
that she has good taste. She loves Jack Black's rendition of Oh Hanukkah. Yeah, she's just like, yeah, Jack Black. But
Are you kind of incepting her though by like nudging her towards like the good stuff instead of just K-pop demon hunters all the time?
Which does slap, by the way.
I haven't heard that. People are crazy about that. I must be living under a rock because people that whose opinion I really judge, like I rate, like think it's amazing.
It is. I can
have
confirm.
your daughter throw it on.
Yeah.
Because you grew up in a very musical household, so are you
Yeah.
kind of trying to do the same where you're like, hey,
I definitely trying not to do the obvious shit and like push my musical taste and but like, I mean, if all she gets is a love for vinyl, that's the best baggage she could probably get from me. But yes, she has her own little turntable, this like 80s Fisher Price with like Big Bird, like on the
fire.
needle. And
Yeah.
she has her own 40s, 5s, and she listens to like Sister Nancy, Bomb Bomb, and like old Snow
Classic.
White story.
So you provide the tools, and it's like you will discover this on your own.
Yeah,
But here's
yeah,
the-
yeah. And she must see me the way I look when I'm putting on the records or something, and has inherited some kind of like, oh, that's some cool shit.
primal.
It's vinyl. There's something, but I wanted to find her own shit, of course, too.
but you're also buying her the baby DJ
That's
set.
true. That's true. Yeah.
The Fisher Price DJ set.
Yes, do your own thing, going your way, child. But first, learn how to beat
Yeah.
match.
DJ
Yeah.
daughter or I don't know, influencer or something. I don't know. How many records do you have in the crib?
Oh,
I gave away so many records when I moved from LA back here in 2020 because I was like, now I'm never gonna DJ vinyl again. Of course, that was
So
wrong.
famous.
People
So-
never want vinyl.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Shit's
just.
worthless.
Yeah, do I really need to keep 3 copies of Wait by the Yin Yang Twins?
Yes.
Like the Whisper
Oh,
song.
dude.
Well,
Thank you for asking. Yes.
Don't play that to you with your daughter.
So like I gave away a lot of hip hop 12 inches because I was like, if I'm not going to listen to it at home, then of course when I started DJing vinyl again, now I'm like tracking down every copy of Akon.
Where's that
Asking
Yin Yang-
for those gifts
Where's that
back.
Yin Yang Twins record at?
Yeah.
No, I had to like
All three?
refile that shit. Totally.
People want. Let me whisper.
How much have you spent on records in your lifetime? If you had to guesstimate, we're
Oh
talking
my
with
God.
millions of dollars, right? Or no, I don't know.
It's probably like it's somewhere between probably $500,000 and $1 million. Like I mean, just even all the 12 inches over like 25 years of just spending like no, it's crazy. I've never thought about that, but that would be a crazy thing to figure out.
I don't
Let's do
know
the
if you
account-
want to.
Yeah, don't do the accounting, bro. You
Yeah.
might be depressed.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
But there's a little nugget in the book about how you kind of like unlocked the record hunter in you,
Yeah,
and you were like traveling to like meet some Japanese fucking
yeah, dealer
guru
Yeah.
dealer
Yeah, yeah,
in Fort
in
Green,
Fort
and, like,
Green.
when-
You would-
before Fort Green was Fort Green.
Yeah. No,
I mean-
you would if you wanted to find those old records, because I was obsessed with finding the records that were sampled by
Right,
Tribe
right.
Called Quest and stuff. So you could either go to this one record convention at the Roosevelt Hotel that happened 4 times a year, which was like the scene, and or you had to know people who knew where to find those records. Like there was no whosampled.com. There was no like all this shit. So like, yeah, you would go and sit and drink tea and light incense in his Japanese dealer named San, his house, and then he would like after half an hour show you the record.
Wow. Once he was like, okay, this guy's got a vibe.
Yeah, totally.
Did you ever?
A real guru.
There's a moment where you really embarrassed the shit out of yourself with Q-Tip. Did you guys ever get over that awkward moment together?
There's like a lot of people that I like, who I'm really good friends with, who like I've had embarrassing, awkward moments with that I don't know if we ever discussed until I wrote them in the book.
Oh wow! So he's gonna text you like, "Yo, dog, like, yeah, you were fucking corny."
Yeah, he said something funny because I was like, "Yo, you don't remember?" Because I wrote about it in the book. Like, I went to one of those record conventions at the Roosevelt Hotel to find the breaks, and I'm searching all day to find all the original Tribe Called Quest samples. And as I come out, I see Q-Tip. I'm like 19. This is my absolute god and hero. So I'm holding this one record that was a Tribe Called Quest sample from Benita Applebaum, and I walk up to him. I'm like, in any imaginary universe, we are peers. Like holding this record, being like, "Oh, what's up? Yo, this is a record you guys sampled for Benita, right?" And he just looks up at me and goes, "I don't know." He just walks off. Of course he knew. Yeah. Wow. So I told him
he sunned you.
Yeah, he totally sunned me. Like it was a record that was already out. He wasn't protecting any goods at that point. And I reminded him of the story and just laughed. He's like, "Yeah, it was mercenary out there." You know? Jay-Z's stories as well. Like, you know, Jay-Z, I wouldn't say we're like best buds, but like I've definitely on a friendly basis.
You guys number?
You want to call it? I do not know, but I can get a text to him. I can get a bad signal. So Jay-Z, I remember like he used to come down to this club I DJ on Tuesday nights with Biggie, and it was amazing to see them in the club. I don't know if they fucking knew my name, but like they would dance where I was partying at. I mean, they would party where I was DJing. So one night I see him at this other club, Cheetah. And I see him, you know, he's like a head and shoulders above the crowd. And he's, you know, before the VIP, all that shit happened, he would always post up by the bar. Like, I think it was like some old school shit so you could like see the entrance. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. He was there all night. So one night I'm like a little drunk, feeling like, you know, Russian courage. And I decided to go, this is going to be the night I finally go up to Jay-Z and introduce myself. And by the end, we'll be toasting Cristal and insist I call him Jigger or whatever the fuck.
Mr. Hove.
Yeah. And I saw, as I'm like thinking of like the perfect, charming thing to say that's going to pique his interest or whatever the fuck, the club was like really packed, and the clubs at that point, they had their weird own current because everyone was like pushing through. So like here I find myself suddenly in front of Jay-Z before I've thought of anything to say, instead of being like, I'm the fucking DJ at Sweet Thing and and I just love your music and whatever. I just went, I play all your songs, you know, or something like that. And then even as I'm saying it, I'm getting pushed by the thing. So I'm kind of like already passing, like, I play all your songs, you know? And I think because I probably looked a little like loosey-goosey and like leery, like I actually kind of saw him, like, I think out of the corner of my eye, just like turn his friend and be like, what'd that kid say? And then his boy just turns and was like, nothing, man, just a fan, you know? And I heard like those words, nothing, man, just a fan, like echoing in my head as I kind of got around.
Good title for your next memoir.
Yeah, what? Just a fan. Yeah.
Did you eventually address that with Sean Carter?
Have you had a better interaction with Jay-Z?
I've definitely had better interactions with them like post that. But the book is like, you know, it definitely celebrates. I'll always be a fan, even if I do know these people and I'm in a proximity in a room to them or playing music for them. It doesn't change the fact that like they make fucking shit that changes the molecules in my body. And like, so I'm writing about like Jay-Z at live partying while I'm playing Hard Knock Life and like everybody like, and I have to write about it how it is. Like, this is the fucking Prince of New York City here surveying this room. Like, so it is unusual to write about people that you know with this reverence, but to paint New York and what he meant to New York at that time, I had to kind of do that.
Yeah, it transports you there for sure. I mean, it was before my time, but like I felt like you kind of do feel like you're.
It's immersive for sure.
Thank you.
What's the one record that you're still hunting for after all these years? Maybe you want to position it nicely so Q-Tip sees it next time you're walking by.
Yeah. There's some incredible shit, but actually now I'm like looking for records to sample myself as opposed to the thing. But weirdly, I'll be DJing, and because I've given away so many of my records, I'll reach for a record that's not there.
The Phantom Limb.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
So I'll be like, fuck, I don't have Missy Get Your Freak On.
Where's Yin Yang Twins? God damn it.
Yeah.
I had 3 copies.
Oh, wait till you see my dick.
Clip it.
But yeah, so it's funny now, and then I have to go on like Discog or eBay the next day and like find a copy of like, I don't know, Young Jeezy or whatever the hell it is.
What's the most you ever spent on a record? A single record? Because that was a big deal in your youth. You're like,
yeah,
am I really going to spend
like
$100?
$100 was
Limited
the
funds.
craziest thing. Like that would be the most expensive, and obviously I didn't have that money
When you were like
until-
22.
Yeah, it's that
A
then. But maybe like probably like $250. But now it's for some old Chet Baker fucking like original pressing or something.
Dad shit.
Dad shit.
Yeah, we get it.
As a DJ, what's on your rider?
Well, in my like crazy more partying era,
Please.
like in England, and I was like going on tour, and like it would be like I remember someone coming in and dressing room being like, "You could put cigarettes on your rider." I was like, "Yeah," like it would be, you know. And sometimes when I was touring the album Version, like with Valerie, like had a whole band and we were all fucking miscreants. So that would be like every kind of vodka thing, like hangover medication. Like it wasn't like 1,000 white lilies, like a
Right.
Katy Perry dress. Like that's in some ways
Some
it's
vodka
more.
and a few Plan B pills.
Yeah. And there was this
Just
thing,
in case.
there's this thing called baraka, which is like this
Yeah.
English thing. Do they have it here?
I mean, I'm familiar.
You know what it is. It's
Yeah.
like a vitamin C tablet. They drop it in. Sometimes if they were out of mixers, like we would just pour the vodka straight and just drop the baraka.
that is rock star shit,
yeah,
dude.
that's some Liam Gallagher shit for sure. Or old school
The
Liam.
problem and the solution.
Yeah. With Barack and roll was what we called the cocktail.
Detox while you retox,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. I don't know. And I remember like the weird Cadbury's, like, you know, fucking chocolate bars. Like there's this chocolate bar called a Curly Whirly that you could only get like in England.
The most British sounding candy bar ever. A curly whirly.
A Curly Whirly. And then people start, and it's quite a hard candy bar. People started throwing them at us on stage with love, but you could get kind of, it's a little distracting. I wouldn't say it hurt, but the only time I really ever was like in danger of my life on stage was I was playing bass for Jimmy Fallon and his band, because like later on in the 2000s they produced a record for him, and it was like this kind of power pop punk songs, but he with joke lyrics or Jimmy lyrics, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going on tour." I was like, "I'll get you the best band, then I'll get you like this." You know, I know the guys from like the New York hardcore scene. He's like, "No, I need a bad band. Like this would be crazy if I got up with a good band." I was like, "Cool, I'll play." So we went on tour, and we would be opening for like the Strokes or something, and you know, because Jimmy was like the good-looking young star of SNL at the time. Like, there was a certain part of the crowd that was just like, "Fuck you guys," and just like pelted with pennies and hard candies for like
They made it hail on you.
30 minutes straight.
That's rough.
Damn. And that's the only time you're truly in danger for your life.
On stage.
making music.
On stage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
No, actually, I've taken some crazy falls. Like I've done like nothing Dave Grohl level, but I've definitely like hit the fucking.
Really?
Wearing all those stupid shiny pointy fucking boots and shoes I used to wear on stage, like just like literally like a pratfall.
what shoes do you wear when you DJ? Because you're on your feet the whole time.
Actually, so I got this thing, this disease, not disease, but this physical ailment that's just basically, okay. So I did this DJ gig in Italy this time. And by the time I landed, my foot was like, holy shit, something's going on down there. Like I could see through my shoe. It had swollen up.
Whoa.
So I go to the doctor or something, and he's like, yeah, you have, they do all this tests that like you have this arthritis. It's called synovitis. And he's like, we sometimes see it in musicians and like orchestras from like even just from tapping their foot on beat, like violin players for like 25 years.
Right.
You can do this sort of damage that like
Crazy.
early
like a basketball
onset
player injury.
arthritis. Yeah. And it's
crazy
something synovitis of the right metatarsal, but I just like calling it DJ foot because I think it just sounds cooler. So
That's what Trump has.
yeah.
You and Trump
Donald
have
J.
the swollen
Isn't he Donald
ankle
J.
game.
Yeah, DJ.
DJ.
DJ Trump.
Damn.
DJ foot. So what was the question?
What shoes do you wear?
Some of the falls are
Yeah,
I don't know.
shoes. So for that time, for a little while, I was actually like DJing. Like I would show up to the gig and then I would like take the shoe off behind the booth because no one wants to see like a barefoot DJ.
Gotta pay for that. That's extra.
But I was wearing like old guy shoes for a little while. Like what's the Mephistos?
Yeah.
Classics. Yeah. Orthopedics.
Just like vinyl, back in style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around.
Mark, who is on your Mount Rushmore of the best DJs of all time, dead or alive?
You cannot put yourself on there.
Shit. I mean, Stretch Armstrong definitely because he was the most influential to me. AM.
R.I.P.
I loved enough. Kid Capri was amazing. Yeah, how many people on Mount Rushmore?
You're at budget right now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That feels like a great list.
There's other people I'm forgetting.
No
about.
Tiesto?
Clark Kent.
Okay.
Clark
Oh.
Kent. Yeah, I might have to
God's
switch
favorite
someone
DJ.
out for
Yeah.
Clark Kent.
It keeps the DJ in his name, as the quote in the book says. Yeah. For a reason.
Now that the book is out and you've come on the only podcast that matters, and book sales are fucking
At an all-time
shooting through
high.
the
Yeah,
roof.
crazy.
Now that you have all this book money, what do you like to spend your money on?
And more books.
Oh, yeah?
You're a book. I know. Like,
I'd
do you collect
to put
books?
it
Where you
right
collect
back into the game? No. What will I spend all this book money on?
Yeah, or just like generally, like besides your own family, besides records, like what do you
Boring.
what do you indulge?
What do I
in?
care about anymore? Yeah,
Financially.
probably like now it's like old vintage synthesizers and shit. Like
Ooh.
since we got into
Toys.
scoring, some films. You know, Barbie was the first film that me and my partner Andrew scored, and working on Greta's new film right now. Greta Gerwig, who directed Barbie. So, like, now it's just like shit for that. Like Hans Zimmer has this crazy studio in LA, and it's just like this wall of like modular synths and all this shit. And I listen, you can do all this shit with plugins now, but I want to make weird noises. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Put it on your torso.
The
Yeah,
insane
like the
noise.
John Carpenter, like just that
the
shit
best,
that
dude.
people that still sounds fucking great that people want to listen to, but just like, what the fuck is that noise? That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Fuck a sample. You're out here
Yeah.
inventing noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Inventing shit you never heard of before.
What's the dumbest purchase you've made recently?
I think there's some kind of thing right now where I'm like definitely probably having an identity crisis that has something to do with my age, like not quite sure how I can dress or how, you know.
So you're wearing your wife's
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
We've gone to the women's section.
I've ripped the tendon came off of my bicep. I was trying to lift a speaker at a gig. So I was in this like big cast for a little while. So I had to like get some oversized clothes. So I went to like essentially buy young people's clothes. I went to places like Acne and like things where the silhouette is a little bigger.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh, kind of like this. It seems to like take 10 years off me. Like where
How
I
do you do,
suddenly
fellow
dress
kids?
The
Yeah.
boxy fit is so slimming.
yeah, it's
ironically.
like Diplo can get away with it. How does he still manage to, still dress young at this age? And then I got home, my wife's like, what the fuck are you wearing? Like, I think we all go through that kind of struggle.
I think Diplo needs a little of that in his life. What the fuck are you wearing? No, I'm just kidding. We love you, Wes.
He's the voice of a strong woman.
I just saw a post where he's wearing a full Nigerian garb. I think he was at a wedding.
He's so like, I don't give a fuck. Like he's beat everything at this point.
Uncancelable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But also, I do like clothes. I do like fashion. I think that you can still appreciate shit and be like, okay, that's not for me. I can't quite wear that.
Is the
And then
Row
occasionally
your
dip into
your
it.
number one brand right now?
I mean, their shit for men's clothes is just insane. I love this brand Stofa as well.
Of course. Shout out Nick and
Stofa.
Agesh, the homies. Yeah, we love Stofa.
Yeah.
Stofa.
Great plug.
New
Is-
retails, brick and mortar.
Yeah, I went
It's really
in there.
nice.
It's a block from my studio. I walked past it so many times.
That's
and
dangerous,
I went
dude.
in for very dangerous. I like a lot of shit. But again, I'm kind of like a little out of the loop. But Stofa, Row, I
you
like vintage shit.
Are you scared of dressing not your age?
I know your wife is.
Yeah. I don't know. This couple weeks of like having the book out, being back on like DJing so many gigs, and like having had Fashion Week and 2 gigs, and I had like thought about clothes more than I have in a while. I've been like, should probably step my game up and
Welcome,
just
brother.
not do the comfort zone. But yeah, I'm figuring it out.
You always look good, dude.
Yeah.
You have a look.
Thank you.
Let's give credit where credit is.
Bring back
due.
the
right
Tommy.
at the end.
Bring back the Tommy. That.
Tommy,
honestly,
yeah.
Bring back the Tommy fits.
Yeah, Tommy's having like a resurgence. I mean, obviously that's tied into the whole 90s thing. And even though Tommy's had plenty of good runs since then, it's so iconic though, that Aaliyah, all those photos of and the bando and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. What would you recommend?
For you,
Yeah, where should I go?
I think Stofa, you're off to a great fucking
Yeah.
start.
Nailed it.
I mean, is that like the tailoring of theirs or kind of the more ready to
like
wear?
this kind of loose. Yeah, I haven't done this. I don't have like, I usually go in a store because I need something to wear like that night.
Would you be a Lemaire guy? Or is that a little too like
I don't know.
flowy
I
for
need
you?
to see that.
Oh, you
I
gotta
need to
check it
see
out.
that.
I
Yeah.
It's
think
kind of
it
like
would vibe.
Stofa. It's like French Stofa.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like flowy French.
The
rich guy
silhouette
sofa.
is forgiving, but still put together. And
Yeah.
I think it would vibe with you for sure.
Yeah, I gotta go see it. It's-
Yeah. We'll send a few suggestions your way.
Send some
Okay.
links over.
Well, no one's paying for these suggestions, recommendations right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we got to do
It's true.
off mic.
Yeah, someone told me yesterday also to check out that spot in Brooklyn. Is it Van
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 Space.
Space.
Van
Shout out
Space.
Chris. Yeah, our friend Stop.
Yeah.
But then you got to go to Brooklyn.
Right.
That's true.
And then
Colbo's right here, kind of similar
Colbo.
vibe.
Yeah.
I have this thing, like, I think it was whenever the big soul sneakers started to become a thing 10, 15 years ago. There's like just certain things when you recognize a trend and you're like, and that's where I get off the bus. Like you know that there's something that you
Right.
can appreciate.
That's
And
my
I see
stop.
kids like, you see kids and
I've
like,
seen this movie before.
yeah.
I'm getting the
It's
fuck
like,
out of here.
It looks so cool on you, and I try it on, and I just like it looks ridiculous. So like it's purely mental. There's just silhouettes and shapes and shoes like Sambas, Gazelles, Air Force Ones that like you can picture on yourself, and then others that you just can't.
You got to know thyself, right, Mark?
Yeah. Then I have friends fucking my age or Diplo or people that do to take chances and wear that shit and they look fine. But for me, it's like,
Okay, so
Dude.
full Nigerian garb for Fashion Week, I would say for you.
Yeah,
That'd be the move.
definitely.
Yeah.
Bring back the Aniche fits.
Yeah.
I know. And
Some
Nietzsche was-
FUBU?
Some South Pole, some academics.
I really liked it. There was
Love a
like
DJ.
probably 2 years where I lived in a Nietzsche velour jumpsuits. Like they were
fire.
just super cool.
Delicioso.
Those guys were like, those guys, Tony Shellman and them, they were just always in the clubs. It was fun. They were good dudes.
You know where I do see Echo now, probably the only place, is kids wearing it ironically in Bushwick.
Yeah.
Right.
So next time you're out gigging there,
They still
throw on the
make-
Rhino, baby.
No, they don't. I think
they
they're
don't
getting
still make
vintage.
it. Okay.
I don't think they're buying new Echo.
Where do you buy the vintage shit? Not that we need to keep plugging other places.
Luke's, Emma, Rogue Gallery,
Like-
whatever it's called.
like-
Rogue MIC.
Like where would you
vintage
find it?
Echo?
Yeah, or just vintage streetwear.
Vintage streetwear, Luke's,
Leisure Center.
Okay.
There's Fancy Explosion.
Yeah.
If you want like vintage streetwear or like
Yeah.
a resale,
194.
Yeah.
the new 194, Chad Senzel.
Yeah.
Sorbaras is more
That's
designer.
Sabaros.
Sabaras.
Okay.
Shout-
Yeah. A real New York slice.
Yeah. This little place
I
you might have
guess-
heard of.
I guess I can get all these things when we're done recording from you too, but
It's cool. No, this is good. It's good for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hit up us Sabaros next to Madison Square Garden.
Sabaros.
Real
Yeah.
New York slice. Mark,
Yeah.
after an hour and 20 minutes together, we're not best friends. We're going to go shopping together after
Yeah.
this. We're going to go to Venn. But do you have any constructive criticism you'd like to give us?
Lay it on
No.
us. No?
No, I
No,
think
none.
that
Okay.
you guys are fucking amazing. For someone like me who's just so low energy, like I sound like I'm on Sudafed all the time. Like you managed to still like make this an
We're going to
exciting.
pry it out
Really?
of you.
Oh,
You feel
yeah.
low energy?
I just can't help it. Like I had to do the audiobook for this book because I
Oh.
realized that like that's what you do.
Did you do the voices of the other people?
The impression.
I tried like some of the stuff. So yeah, I did do that because that's an easy one to do.
Okay.
But my wife heard me about 6 months ago, like starting to like read an anecdote because I think my friend was like, you should post something on socials, reading a thing, and my wife just heard me. She's an actress. She was like, yo, you need help. So she sent me to her acting coach uptown, who she's not going to turn me into Al Pacino, but she would like help me learn how to like put a little whatever. It's some
little sauce on it.
Some melody.
It's a melody, some arc into it. So I did it, and I went to do the audiobook, and I still kept thinking like, man, I just wish Timothée Chalamet was doing this or something. But I realized then I
The
listened
biopic.
to Julia Fox Down the Drain. I mean, really, it was that one snippet that went viral where she's talking about being down on the floor looking for cocaine.
Yeah.
And I realized like she just has this very charming, amazing, droll New York like one note thing. And I was like, oh, I don't care that she's like acting out every line. I just hear her voice, and this makes me dig it. So it made me feel a little bit better about doing the thing. But I can't even remember what the question is. Oh,
Did you do the voices?
so I did do the voices.
Jay-Z's trying to be like, who the fuck? That was just a fan, bro.
I did some voices, and then I think that like I wanted to have my friend Simon Rex, you know,
Mhm,
Dirt
of course.
Nasty. He's-
Dirt Nasty.
Dirt Nasty. He's
The
so good at
VJ
all
to
that
your
shit.
DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to do some of the voices, but they were just like, we don't have the money in the budget.
We
Just
can't afford to
shut
sign
up.
a rack.
Shut up.
Next time. Again, for
Yeah.
the second book, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tap in your mother-in-law, maybe. You don't get a
Yeah.
whole fucking roster.
Yeah.
Mark, where can the kids follow you?
Yeah.
What would you like to plug right now? The floor
Floor
is
is
yours. We reached the
Well,
conclusion.
Okay.
Of your episode.
Definitely Night People. how to be a DJ in 90s New York City, which is, if you think about it, the most useless how-to book of all time. You'll never be a DJ in 90s New York City.
For dummies.
Can I make a suggestion? Can there be, I don't know if you've done this. Is there an accompanying playlist of like all the records? There is.
There's a QR code in the book, so you
we only have the
galley,
galleys, so they don't have the QR codes.
Yeah, but I guess that's the main thing I want to.
Instagram is I am Mark Ronson.
Instagram is I am Mark Ronson. Someone else got Mark Ronson.
Damn, bro.
And then when I tried to
Was it
get
your
it,
sister?
no, it was like some random person who like just posted paintings of landscapes.
Are they good?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, that I wanted my fucking name. And I wrote to the person and they were like, how dare you? I've amassed 5,000 followers. I was like, it's my name. But obviously nobody.
Is that also, but that's also his name.
Yeah.
No?
Fuck you, Mark Ronson.
No, this was, this wasn't.
They were like, they're using it. They're trying to pretend. Interesting. Well, strategy is working. 5,000 followers, nothing to shake a stick
it's
at.
this Korean or Japanese guy.
Oh, wow.
Joel. Maybe he sold it.
Mark
How many
Ronson.
followers?
428.
And what are they posting?
Just him chilling in
the
Japan.
life.
Yeah, sneakers. He's a sneaker guy. Maybe you have some like rare kicks you could, swap with him.
Oh my God.
That's just Mark Ronson.
So crazy. So it must have changed.
He got a better deal from this guy.
It must have, the other person must have given it up at some point or like closed their account. And now this guy got it for us.
Dude. You should.
I hope
him.
he's following me. Like, imagine if he's not following. That would
He doesn't even know who you are.
The ultimate insult.
Come on, man.
He is following you.
Wow.
Okay.
You gotta hit him. You gotta hit him with the follow back, dog. Gotta hit him with the follow back.
Okay,
Yo, I'll DJ your wedding, bro. Just fucking let me get the IG.
Oh,
all right. So no constructive
I'll
criticism.
drop Sandstorm at your wedding if you give me.
I am Mark
handle.
Ronson on IG.
This is the only podcast that matters. This has been a fucking treat. Night people out now.
Hell
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. You're the best.
You wanna fade us out? You wanna crossfade us out or drop? Is there a drop? What do you want to do?
Got to pay for video to see that, folks.
Yep. Air horn.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.